today we're going to have a special class on Radha Krishna Jhulan Yatra, swing festival of Lord Krishna. You know, one of the most popular festivals that takes place in the holy town of Vrindavan, where Krishna appeared, 5,000 years ago, is the celebration of this Jhulan Yatra, the Radha Krishna swing festival. And in Vrindavan, local people, this festival lasts for 13 days. And hundreds and thousands of people actually come from all the surrounding towns and villages, and they all visit Vrindavan at this very auspicious time of Jhulan Yatra. And during this time, you may see many varieties of swings. In Vrindavan, it is said there's something like thousands and thousands of temples. Practically every house is a temple. And sometimes you may see very opulent swings made from gold and silver with jewels. And sometimes very simple swings made with love and devotion for the pleasure and service of Shri Radha and Krishna. So not only in Vrindavan, but also this Jhulan Yatra swing festival is observed in other parts of India as well, such as Jagannath Puri, Madura, Dwarka, also all our ISKCON temples around India, and also all our ISKCON temples all around the world are celebrating this beautiful swing Jhulan Yatra festival. Because traditionally, we know that in our ISKCON temples, the small set of Radha Krishna deities are taken from the altar and they're placed on this beautifully decorated swing. Then devotees and also members of the congregation, they're invited to come forward and push the deities on the swing. And actually we don't do it, but there's a tradition that each person that comes to swing the deities, they offer some flower petals to Radha and Krishna, and they put them on their little swing, and they offer some personal prayers to Radha and Krishna, and then they push the swing, several times. And while we're pushing the swing, the devotees are chanting Hare Krishna and other traditional prayers and songs and just glorifying the divine couple. So in our ISKCON temples, we observe this festival for 5 days in accordance with Srila Prabhupada's instructions. So whether one observes it for 4 days or 5 days or 7 days or 13 days, the same festival is simply put on for the pleasure of their lordships and his loving associates. So this is a wonderful ceremonial function of Lord Krishna's pastimes, and it actually reflects practically how we're meant to render service to the Lord for his pleasure. And of course in India, at this time of this festival, it's the monsoon period in India, and the air is thick and heavy and humid with heat and rains. And also at this time, it's a very beautiful time also, because the fields and jungles are all lush and green, and the flowers are blossoming all around. It's such a beautiful atmosphere. However, everyone's feeling the humidity, the heat. So the real opulence at this time is to find a nice breeze to get relief from the humidity. So the devotees, they arrange for the pleasure and satisfaction of Shri Radha and Krishna a nice breeze for them by placing them on the swing or the Jhulan and swinging them, which creates a natural breeze from the motion of the swing. And actually, traditionally, sometimes the devotees, they use a fine spray of rose water, and they direct it to the divine couple. They spray it, where the Lord's swinging. Cool them, pretty cool. So the atmosphere of this Vrindavan is very, especially sweet, and everyone has a chance to intimately serve Radha and Krishna by lovingly swinging them on their transcendental swing. So this festival, like many other festivals, it's not in any way just a mere ritual. Rather, we should understand that Krishna himself has organized these wonderful festivals just to invoke the loving servitude and sentiments of his devotees. So Krishna, we know, he's the supreme enjoyer, and everything he does is pleasurable. So in the Loka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, he enjoys the loving reciprocation of his pure devotees throughout various seasons. Actually, and he also enjoys invoking us in his loving devotional service, which is our natural, constitutional and position in the spiritual world, is we're all eternal loving servants of the Supreme Lord. So we know, although Krishna, he's completely satisfied, he eternally hankers to taste this ecstatic bliss derived from the love of his pure devotees. Although he's the supreme controller of everything and everyone, he becomes conquered by the love of his sincere devotees. He allows himself to come under the control of his devotees' pure love. And Krishna, of course, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna declares that the pure devotees are always in my heart, and I am always in theirs. They do not know anyone else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. So Krishna organizes these wonderful festivals so we can enjoy being part of his, even though we're here on the material world, we can enjoy being part of his transcendental pastimes. And traditionally, each year at this time, Radharani and all the other young brides, they're taken from their mother-in-law's house by their brothers, and they return to their father's home. So Srimati Radharani's brother is Sridham. So Sridham would come, and he would take her to her parents' home in Vashan. And she would have a very nice time there with her gopi friends and Krishna. And it was at this time that she would enjoy the swing festival at Jhulan Yatra during periods during the day and also during the night. And ultimately, of course, she was not satisfied just swinging alone or with her girlfriend. She wanted Krishna to be there. So knowing this, sometimes Krishna would come to the palace in Vashan disguised as a gopi selling bangles or garlands. Or sometimes he would arrange to meet her and the gopis in very secret places in the forest where Vrinda Devi would arrange beautiful swings for the divine couple. And usually these swings, they hang from the Kadamba trees. We've got the Kadamba tree out there. So as I said, because these Kadamba trees, they carry the complexion of Srimati Radharani, with their beautiful, sweet-smelling yellow flowers. And also, it is said by the Brijvasis that it's also because the Kadamba tree is very strong tree, and very beautiful. And it also signifies the superiority of Srimati Radharani, because she can control Krishna with her love. So throughout Vrindavan there's so many beautiful swings where Radha and Krishna and the gopis would enjoy these wonderful swinging pastimes together throughout the different forests and different places. It is said on all four sides of Radha Kund. Radha Kund is Radharani's own personal lake, there's these beautiful jeweled stairways leading down to jeweled bathing ghats. And on either side of the bathing ghats is pairs of these wonderfully decorated swings. So these swings are hanging from, flower-laden trees, a set of mango trees and kadamba trees, bakura trees, champak trees, and lining all sides of Radhakunda, these kalpa vriksha, desire-fulfilling trees, bowing down from the weight of their heavy, delicious fruits and flowers. It gives us a picture of Vrindavan Dham. And just outside of Radhakund, there's 6 seasonal forests. And one forest is blossoming in spring, another one in summer, another in winter, another in autumn. So Radha and Krishna can enjoy the season of their choice. And in these 6 seasonal forests, there is beautiful swings and gates and canopies and platforms and courtyards and pathways, all very artistically decorated with beautiful flowers. Actually, in Lalita Kund, when you go to Vrindavan on the Vrindavan Parikram, you may go to this place called Lalita Kund. There was an amazing swing. And it was designed so 8 principal gopis are sitting on one side of the swing, and Radha and Krishna are sitting on the other side, so they're facing each other. And during these beautiful swing pastimes, the expert gopis would be singing melodious songs, playing their various instruments, while Radha and Krishna and the gopis would swing on these beautiful swings. Actually, there's one pastime. One day they were strolling through the forest, Radha, Krishna and the gopis, and they came upon this beautiful swing. Very special, beautiful swing, which was designed in such a way that 2 persons could occupy the seats, would face each other. You can picture that. A swing. So when Krishna, when he saw that beautiful swing, he immediately jumped onto the swing. And he tried to persuade Radha to come and join him on the swing. However, Radha, she refused to go on the swing because she knew that he would swing too high and frighten her. So she refused to go on the swing. Actually, in Braj, during this time in Vrindavan, they sing a very special song while the swing festival is just about to begin. And it's sung in that traditional Brijbasi language. And the song describes how Sri Krishna has come and is waiting at the swing for his beloved to come. However, Radharani, she's in Mara. She's in this sulky mood. So her gopi friends try to persuade her, saying, "Give up your sulky mood, Radha. Come at once, your beloved Krishna is waiting for you on the swing." They sing this song in this very playful Vrindavan language. So Radharani, she refused to hop on the swing. She told Krishna, after he had enjoyed swinging, she and her friends, her gopi friends, her girlfriends would enjoy swinging. But Krishna again and again, he requested her to join him on the swing, and he promised. He made that promise, I will not swing too high. So what happened is, she refused to go on the swing. But Radha's friends, her gopi friends, they all started requesting her. They said, "Now just sit with him on the swing and we will control the swing. We'll push the swing very gently so you cannot go too high." So Radharani, she finally agreed to sit on the swing, facing Krishna, and she very timidly hopped on that swing, because she knew that somehow or other, this very tricky boy would manage to swing very high. hide and frighten her. So at this time, her girlfriends, they started pushing the swing very gently, and Radha was just relaxing, enjoying the atmosphere of Radha-Kund. But after a while, what happened? Krishna started moving his legs like this, causing the swing to go higher. And it started going higher, and before anyone had realized it, the swing was above the gopis' heads. And when Radharani realized what was happening, she demanded, Krishna, you stop this swing immediately and let me off. However, Krishna, he just laughed, causing the swing to go higher and higher. And before you know it, the swing was above the trees. It was so high, and the gopis were calling out to Krishna, stop the swing! Let Radharani off! But Krishna pretended not to hear them. And the swing went so high, it went right above the trees, and Radharani's shawl just flew off in the wind. And she was so frightened. She immediately screamed. And she jumped into Krishna's arms and held on to him very tightly. And it is said that the union of Radha and Krishna embracing on the swing resembles a brilliant lightning flash in the middle of a dark rain cloud. So Krishna, he became very ecstatic. He became so ecstatic having Radharani's embrace. He became overwhelmed with happiness. And thus he caused the swing to go higher and higher. And it went so high that it went a complete 360 degrees, went right round. When Radharani's girlfriends saw this, they were very surprised. They all started singing the glories of Radha and Krishna in great ecstasy. Because soon after, Krishna, having accomplished his objective of getting Radharani's embrace, slowly slowed the swing down gradually and stopped. And then after that, Radharani, she began seating all her gopi friends on the swing with Krishna and personally swinging them and singing while singing beautiful songs. A very beautiful thing. Of course, being the greatest devotee and a worshipper of Krishna, Radharani, she possesses the most exemplary and exalted mentality. She told her friends, I do not mind my personal distress. I only wish for the happiness of Krishna. For his happiness is the goal of my life. However, if he feels great happiness in giving me distress, that distress is the best of my happiness. So soon after, what happened is Krishna expanded himself into 7 Krishnas. And then he expanded himself into all these different Krishnas, and he was swinging on a large number of swings along with a gopi on each side of it. Sometimes Krishna is called Yogeshvara, the supreme mystic. So after all this pastimes had taken place, Vrinda Devi, who organizes all the affairs of Vrindavan, she escorts the divine couple to this beautiful, elegantly designed swing, which is the shape of an open lotus flower. You can imagine that. It's a big lotus flower swing. And Radha and Krishna, they sit in the center of the swing, of the lotus. And the 8 main gopis, they're like direct expansions of Srimati Radharani and her most intimate friends. They sit in a center on the 8 main, on the seat of the 8 petals surrounding Radha and Krishna. And then another 16 assistant gopis, they sit on seats on the outer 16 petals of the lotus flower. Can you imagine that? The gopis are sitting around Radha and Krishna. And then Vrinda Devi, she provides some nice refreshments while everyone's sitting on the swing. She brings nice cool drinks, sweet forest fruits, and Radha and Krishna are enjoying these refreshments. And after that, the gopis, they take the remnants, the Mahaprasad of Radha and Krishna, and then Vrinda and Nandi Mukhi, they smoothly push this big lotus swing back and forward. Beautiful swing. So this transcendental land of Vrindavan is a very special place. It is said that it's only in Vrindavan where there's never a dull moment. It's always bubbling over with this deliciously tasty variety of astounding, delightful, transcendental activities. And it's only in this divine setting where the divine couple, Radha and Krishna, expand their infinite pleasure pastimes. So every day, around 11 a.m., Krishna, after frolicking in the forest with his cowherd friends, would slip away to meet his beloved Radharani and her friends. And together they would enjoy these wonderful pastimes. Unlimited nectarine pastimes together in Radhakund, surrounding forests, riding on these beautiful swings, picking flowers together, strolling through the forests, singing beautiful songs, engaging in water squirting wars and water splashing contests. There's also flute stealing pastimes where they would steal Krishna's flute. And there was decorating one another with beautiful flowers and drinking honey nectars, eating forest fruits, playing board games, resting on flower petal beds. So Vrindavan it's Krishna's eternal abode where he eternally enjoys himself with his eternal associates and his paraphernalia. And he mercifully appears on earth. He descends here from the spiritual world. And when he descends, he brings the spiritual world with him. He creates a complete picture of the spiritual world right here on planet Earth, where he manifests his eternal pastimes. So this is said to be the highest spiritual realization, to be attached to the personal form of the Supreme Lord. And the more we hear about him, the more we read about him, chant his holy name, serve him with love and devotion, the more we become attached to him. The more we can enter into a very personal relationship with him and experience his eternal friendship. And also realize that he is our supreme beloved and I am his tiny servant. So this wonderful transcendental Jhulan Yatra festival of Shri Radha and Krishna's pastimes, it reflects practically how we can render service to the Lord for his pleasure. So we too can be a part of Radha and Krishna's transcendental pastimes. So this wonderful festival, they've been created by Krishna just to invoke our loving sentiments. And of course, as I said, this swing festival of Radha and Krishna is very, very dear. Very, very dear to Radha and Krishna. I'll just finish there, and I'll just anyone would like to ask any questions? I'd like to add anything? Jai Shri Radha Krishna Jhulan Yatra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Radha Govindam Krishna Balaram Raviraj Shri Gunita ki, Go Prem.